Hi guys, welcome to guided practice for 14.4. I hope you all had a great extra long weekend and enjoyed your Memorial Day and really had a chance to remember those that have served us and that have passed away in our lives. So today, as we move on, you're going to need a pencil and some paper because we're going to be working on finding the area of squares and rectangles. So our learning target today is I can find the area of a square or a rectangle. And then what I did was I automatically wrote down the formula because we are going to be using that a lot today. Area equals length, side to side, times width, up and down. And I want to remind you that when we find the area, we're looking for the amount inside of a shape, the measurement inside. And oftentimes it's how you're going to cover that with paint or tile or carpet. It can be any type of surface. However, it is always measured in what we call square units. And that way, everybody knows how to find the right area for whatever they're constructing or remodeling or working on. Alrighty, so today we are on 14.4, area of squares and rectangles. We're on page 336 of your textbook. And as always, I really hope you have already watched the video, as that kind of gave you the idea of what we're working on today. All right, here we go with our guided practice. For 1 through 4, find the area of each figure. So for every single problem, I am going to write down the formula. Then I am going to replace my variables with the numbers that I know, and then we're going to figure out the answer. So for number 1, I do not have to count those squares. Now that we are almost 4th graders, it's ridiculous to sit and count those squares. We're going to use our math and our number sense and multiplication instead. So number 1 is area equals, I'm so sorry, I almost wrote down the wrong thing. Length times width. Now I'm going to fill that in. So area equals 7 times 3. And really, you can write it either direction, but it's a good habit to get in to go length side to side times width, up and down. So my paper looks like this. This formula, and your grown-ups at home should be able to tell you this also, you'll use it for the rest of your mathematic career, all through grade school and middle school and high school. So it's just a great way to make sure that you memorize area is length times width. So now I have to figure out 7 times 3. So 7, 14, 21. Oh, good job. So 21. And remember, it's always in square units. So it's inches. So square, SQ, inches. And that way, all around the world, everybody knows square inches. We all get the same measurement, just like this. Okay, number 2. I'm going to write down my formula. Area equals length times width. Area equals 5 times 4. Area equals, all right, 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 square meters. Now, if you need to, you could count the squares to check your work. However, in 3 and 4, there are no squares left, so you have to know your math facts. That's why I would like to make sure you guys are going on to reflex. Number 3, area equals length times width. And I know some of you are saying, why do we have to write down that formula every single time? Just know that in high school, if you don't write it down, sometimes they won't give you full credit for your answer because they want to know that you know the formula and how to figure it out. All right, number 3. So we're going to figure out this is a rectangle, length times width. So 9 times 6. Area equals, I'm going to give you just a minute to figure that out. My paper looks like this. So I have my Oh, right here. So I have my formula, my 9 times 6, and then I'm going to figure out my area. Good job. 54. So it is 54 square feet. Now wait a minute, on number 4, I'm going to write down area equals length times width. Now I only have one side. How am I supposed to figure out the area if I have to know two sides? Well, this is a square, and what do we know about a square? Good job. All the sides are the same length. So I know that the variables are 9 times 9. So my area equals, so 9 times 9. Oh, good job. 81 square centimeters. And your paper should look like, wrong button, this. Good job. For number 5, let's go ahead and look at the question for number 5. Now we have to be thinking a little bit. What is the formula for the area of a square, and explain how you know? So really we just did that. So number 5 is area equals length times width. So now they're saying, but how do you know? Well, I'm going to say I know a square has 4 equal sides. And that's how we know. It's just as easy as that. That's one reason why we learn how to do geometry first, is because we need to know that a square has 4 equal sides. All right, number 6. Mike plans to paint another wall in his room blue. Okay, that's what I was saying. Sometimes, most of the time it's to cover a surface. That wall measures 10 feet by 8 feet. How much area does Mike need to paint? Because when you go to Home Depot and you need to buy paint, they're going to need to know the area that you're trying to cover, and that tells you how much. So I know that the area equals length times width. Area equals 10 times 8. So the area of his wall is, good job, 80 square feet. I bet a lot of you have been painting your rooms and houses this time. We haven't painted anything, but we might rip up the floor in the kitchen, which means I need to figure out the area so we buy the right amount, because it's the worst when you run out halfway through a project. All right, now on the next one, it does want, for the independent, it wants you to measure these. So if you can do that, that would be fine. It is kind of hard though because we're using computers. So I would say let's go ahead and skip straight down to 9 and do those. Boys and girls, what I want you to understand is finding area is very, very simple. It's length times width, and this is not hard when they are all squares and rectangles. So I would like to see you move on and work on 9 through 12. And then, as always, in order to make yourself smarter, there are some great problem solving questions, and there's only 5 of them right here. And that would be a great idea for you to exercise your brain and keep learning. Remember, oftentimes on the problem solving, it's a little bit different. You have to use everything that you know. But please remember to find the area of a square or rectangle, and most shapes, it is length side to side times the width up and down. And the area is the amount you're trying to cover for the inside of a shape. All right, boys and girls, have a fabulous day. And don't forget, play outside. Bye.